Welcome to QuipsnCrits, another 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons podcast. In today's show, you will hear variant rules such as honor and madness checks, playable NPCs, proficiency dice, and brutal critical fails. Our talented cast of players are Sarah playing Tribute the Tiefling Paladin.
I don't know what color Tribute blushes because she's already pink. So that was definitely happening when she left Saywood's office.
Katie playing Talos the Half-Orc Cleric.
Talos is actually kind of afraid of ghosts. Thank God he's a cleric and can turn undead.
Ransford playing Breeze the Tabaxi Bard.
You went for a swim?
Yes.
How'd it go?
That's not the point.
I'm sorry.
Alex playing Nikos the Eladrin Warlock.
Brace myself a bit, and I just lean over, and I just let it go out. There's like, ugh! I'm gonna have to do that again sometime.
Emily playing Cass the Half-Elf Fighter.
Well, since I have heroism, I feel like I'm not really thinking about beating a child.
And Courtney playing Adela, the Water Genasi Druid.
Don't quite care, I guess. I'm Adela.
I'm Dan the DM.
That was just straight rum. I mean, I enjoy it, but I was not prepared for that to just be a mouthful of rum.
Let's get back to the game.
It's a very quiet ride for the Jade Knight. He speaks very little, but you see it looks like he's been fiddling with his mask.
Does Breeze remember the Jade Knight casting the spell on him?
No.
Okay. Not even vaguely, nothing at all.
Pretty much what you remember is being very, very pissed off and then grinding flesh to dirt. So if there's any things you want to talk to him about before he heads off?
Where should we meet tomorrow?
We'll say as you dock, he gets off and he says, I'll contact you with a note tomorrow. And looks over at Kath and says, the usual place.
Okay.
He pulls his coat up and he walks into the darkness.
Okay, this is... Cass, is going to sound really bad, but your boyfriend is not a good person to hang around, I don't think. I mean, these are evil things that deserve to be killed, but at the same time, he does not have good plans.
Do we have good plans?
We have to go save him. So it's not that he has bad plans, it's that he has bad luck and gets captured.
Breeze right now, because he's not walking back to the hotel.
I carried you out of the cave.
Okay, so you're still carrying me?
Yeah.
Without the Jade Knight, the thing wouldn't have been blind.
We'll say piggyback.
So
Breeze would have been frightened.
you all make your way back to the Humble Bumble. The guy dressed as a bee is not at his station. It is the young woman who is oddly emphatic about her job. She greets you with an awful pun, and you head to your room. Inside, Listel is asleep on the couch. Kaz is sitting in a chair, and he is just punched out. You gather it's probably about 4 a.m., and you are free to sleep.
Breeze is already asleep.
Can I head to the bathhouse and then go sleep?
He'll
Yes.
sleep on whatever.
Am I already there?
Yes, Talos, you are there.
I'm gonna shoulder open the door to Breeze and Talos' room, and Talos is gonna be waiting up, staring at me, carrying his unconscious boyfriend.
What happened? It's okay, he's sleeping. Is he alright? He drank a weird potion, wore himself out. He's fine.
She puts me down, and then you see it all.
He's covered in blood.
I did clean him up.
But all my clothes
not
are
his.
ripped.
Yeah.
Everything's ripped, everything's stretched.
I don't know
but didn't
what's
get
worse,
my
actually.
paper.
Like I said, drank a weird potion. Where have you guys been?
I've been home for...
It's all couple hours you've been on all day.
We were saving the populace. It was this whole thing. I think I read a serial at one time that was kind of like it. I'm going to bed.
Alright,
Alright, Nico says he's going to bed, but he's actually got a lot to think about right now, so he's actually going to do a trance.
Okay.
deception, okay.
I'm gonna fill in Talos.
Okay.
I'm going to give money to those who still don't have it.
Sweet.
All right.
So you get 80 gold and 5 silver. You already got Listel's share, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to give Listel another share. And then Kaz, I'm sure he already got his. So I'm no longer holding anyone's money. Woo.
So Tribute, you just kind of download all the information to Talos.
Including all the times that Breeze went down.
And all the times Adela saved him.
Talos, Tomorrow, if you want to tell them what you learned, you can, but you can do that tomorrow. Adela, you piss everyone off real bad, as they're just kind of kicking up the steam room, the bathrooms again, and you just go down and fill it full of blood.
Ew. I needed a bath.
And you're able to rest.
Sleepy time.
Yeah, so we go take a bath and then I'm going back to bed.
Alright, health.
So, for those of you who need the 8, you will wake up around noon.
Nikos is already there. He's cooking breakfast for people.
Okay. Brunch?
Brunch.
What is Nikos cooking?
Myself.
Well, it's going to be
vegetarian, right?
vegetarian,
Yep.
so it's mostly going to be toast with if you can find any preserves or stuff.
Lestel will go out and buy whatever you need.
You could do omelets. You could do cheese omelets.
Does Nikos eat eggs?
No.
So he's
Is
vegan.
he vegan or vegetarian?
No, he is he's vegetarian, not vegan, so he would eat eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At noon, you all wake up for this delicious meal, and you're all sitting around that familiar table where you can discuss things.
Speaking of familiars, no, I wouldn't have had enough time to go track down all the required materials yet.
Okay. Season 2. Season 2. You have basically, you can do one thing in the afternoon and one thing in the evening before the day ends.
And I take it I can't, the one thing in the afternoon, one thing can't be chased down and cast Find Familiar's ritual.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, okay.
You receive no letter. You receive no summons from the Jade Knight.
Good.
Fuck that guy.
Lestel kind of turns to everybody and says, "It looked like a busy night. Tomorrow is the Summer Solstice Festival. Do you have any plans today?"
Doesn't look like
I
it.
don't think so.
We're just gonna ask the Hells for a massage. Cause he's super sore.
I'm leaving.
Nikos is gonna look up at Lestel and say, "The seasons are changing?"
Well, we're coming near the end of summer, and there's usually a small celebration as they begin
No,
harvest.
and Nikos' mouth just gets big and wide. He's just like, "Oh yes, season changes are the best. Season changes are the best." Okay, I need to get some stuff.
You'll find it to be a bit disappointing here as very little changes in this climate. Though if we can make it back to the mainland, it's beautiful. The trees change.
No, I'm not talking about that. I mean, I'm getting wine and stuff.
Excellent. Very good.
Breeze picks up with the wine. Here, it's good for recovery.
You've had enough drinking, I think.
Hey, Breeze's best moments have come while drinking.
So, everyone gets to choose something to do in the afternoon and the evening.
All right.
Most pertinently, Kaz, who has been doing the pee-pee dance, is desperate to speak to you alone, Kaz.
Oh, Breeze would like to have a conversation with Cass and Kaz.
Okay. Well, he's pulling
That could
Kaz
be your
up.
evening thing.
So,
Also, I wanted to have like a Breeze and Talos talk, but I don't want to take too much time, so I'm gonna summarize of I wish you'd be more careful in combat, but also I'm sorry I wasn't there.
Breeze's answer is, I have to help. Be
careful.
I do my best, but I have to help.
so Kaz,
Yes.
as everyone's starting to clean up and begin to move where they need to go, Kaz pulls you into one of the bedrooms, and he closes the door. And he says, "How was your night?"
I almost died.
Cool. Remember those auditions I told you about?
What a great brother.
They accepted me.
That's great.
They want to leave tonight.
Well, that's fast.
Yeah. There's a fear that the climate here is getting dangerous, and if we don't leave now, we might get attacked again on the high seas.
Yeah, I can understand that.
So, Geraldina wants to leave now. Tonight.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think you should go. I mean, you're not a fighter, Kaz. We've been doing nothing but fighting. You were always a performer, and this is the greatest chance you're gonna get.
But what if something happens to you?
Oh, that Don't know what to say about that.
Can I just leave like this? You'll be alone. We've never been apart for as long as this would be.
I'll be fine. I mean, I would much rather you doing something you love than being traumatized and having to kill more.
That would suck a lot. I don't want that. I don't know. I guess.
I mean, what do you really want to do?
I want to go. This is a huge band. The Heaven Song Orchestra is one of the biggest minstrels in the world. Their home base is Waterdeep, and they're touring right now, and it's this weird opportunity to see the world and learn a lot. If you die, it would have been for nothing.
Oh, I'm still alive right now, and that doesn't say much since every day's pretty much a near-death experience.
We're gonna be at Alzarine. It's just outside of the Elven Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
It's just like it'll probably be like a week or two from shore. We'll be there to the end of summer. Meet me there, and I'll see how it is. And if I don't like it, I'll leave, and we'll call it a trial period.
Okay.
But it's tonight.
Well then, let's just make the most of the day, I guess.
Yeah, he smiles and he nods and he hugs you.
And I hug him back.
After this conversation, can I catch him? Kaz,
Yeah.
Yeah.
does she know what you left in your hometown?
He goes, "Can I talk to you a minute?" Just over here.
No,
over here.
No, she has to know. This is the most important person in your life.
I don't know how you know, but that's none of your business, Breeze.
It might not be, but I know and I can't let it go.
Yes, it's none of your business. At all.
It might be, but you need... At very least, it's her business.
This is my last day. I'm leaving. Do you want this to be the last thing we do? Is you ruin both of our lives?
Of course not.
Then just keep it to yourself. And he walks away.
Damn.
You'll have to ask him about it. But you have to find out. I want to tell you, but this is something that you two should discuss. But it's something in your hometown.
Well, that doesn't necessarily narrow it down, but...
Someone, you have to find out. You have to talk to him. You're the person he loves the most.
All
This
right.
isn't my place, but I got this information, and I can't let this just slide. Okay?
Is it that bad?
Yes. I don't want you and your brother's relationship to deteriorate because of this. And so that's why against my better judgment, I won't tell you, but you need to ask him about it at some point.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thanks for...
Go have a wonderful day with your brother.
Oh.
So with that, what's everyone else want to do today?
How's Breeze's hand?
It's coming back. It's a little bit better. You could start practicing.
Okay. Breeze is gonna go out and buy a songbook.
Okay.
He's gonna buy a songbook of local Jade Reef songs.
Okay.
He's gonna read the book and try to practice them.
Now it's going to be your that'll be your afternoon.
And evening. Do I still have one more thing to do?
We'll come back around. We'll come back around for evening.
Okay.
Trippy.
I'm gonna pick up some knives.
Like cooking knives or like
Daggers.
Throwing knives.
okay.
It's 10. Can I get like 5?
Well, how much do they cost first?
If only I had some sort of convenient.
140.
Yeah, thank you. 2 devastating, purse-crushing gold pieces each.
Oh, dude.
40 knives.
Now, if you want to have a bandolier that allows you to carry twice as many knives, that'll be another purse-crushing, finance-annihilating 3 gold pieces, and you can openly carry 10 knives.
Just have like a purse full of
If you
knives
had,
and you see like the
efficiency,
blades like
knife
sticking out.
throwing,
And
that'd be super worth
So it's
it.
that 23? Done.
Breeze has pretty high dex. Maybe Breeze should invest in... Oh! Can Breeze upgrade his armor?
Yes.
That's maybe.
That'll be your evening. Nikos?
I am going to go shopping, and I'm going to pick up 2 things. One is the It costs 10 GP for the material components for Find Familiar.
Okay.
I assume that these are common enough because
Sure.
We're living in a town of elves. At least some of them are magic users. And then the other thing I'm going to do is buy some nice wine.
Excellent.
Yeah,
All right.
We're celebrating the solstice.
We'll say it's 5 silver pieces for per bottle of nice wine.
All right. So I want to get 5 silver pieces for a bottle of nice wine. We'll say, I'll get 4 bottles to split between all of us.
Okay.
And that will be, so that's a total of 2 gold.
Okay.
And so I spent 12 gold today.
All right. Listel's going to go out, seeing that you want to celebrate. He'll go out and he'll buy some stuff to make. Adela, what would you like to do with your afternoon?
Well, yeah, Listell's leaving. Okay, because I was actually going to talk to Listel and see if the seaweed doll that I got is completely useless.
He can do that either in the evening or the afternoon. So if you need him, he'll stop off and he'll hang out for the afternoon.
I guess he'll be doing the evening.
Okay, you
go
want
shopping first.
he'll just go. If you give him the doll, he'll spend. Both of you can spend the time identifying it.
All right.
All right.
I just want to make sure I didn't get something completely useless.
Did I spend afternoon and evening doing?
Where'd you find this doll?
I think just
That was the doll that I got from the Guardians.
Christmas.
Okay. All right. Yes, it is a useless doll.
Alright.
It was. He tells you that it was apparently made. It is a toy. It was a toy that he made to give you.
Charges the time to Thunder gets back.
And as he looks at it, he assumes it's probably Thundra.
Okay. So
Cute.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. So I just got a bunch of useless stuff. All right.
Yep. You got some useless stuff.
All right.
Man, at least your pants don't shrink.
Cass.
I have a lucky charm that's not even lucky to me.
Charm is like
Needless to say, Kaz is quiet and distant.
Seaweed doll.
You doing okay?
Yeah.
I can change my spells. You can do Zone of Truth.
Is it about whatever happened back there with Breeze?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Well, I mean, I'm curious, but it's your business to tell. It's not about Mom, is it?
No. Mom's fine. As far as you'd know more than me. You see her more. I just did a lot of stuff I wasn't proud of, and leaving with you was a clean break for me. And I feel like I needed it. And I don't know how I found out about some of the shittier stuff I did, but it's definitely not something I feel like I needed thrown back at me.
Well,
Just getting away is probably for the best. Resetting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Getting out of Father's shadow.
That's a thing. That's a real big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you dealing with that?
I don't know, really. I don't think I ever really knew who I was since, just Father's bastard child. That's just what we all went by. Now.
Yeah. He did give us a home. I mean, for what it's worth.
I suppose.
I mean, I imagine if he's out horn dogging around like that, there's probably a lot worse off kids than us.
I mean, but Mom worked for most of that.
Yeah. You know what? I think I'm gonna the money I make with this orchestra. I think I'll send money to Mom.
Yeah.
That would help her. Maybe. I mean, she's not old for an elf, but she's gonna be.
Yeah.
So maybe just start nesting for her.
Yeah. I mean, she worked her pretty much whole life there for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just feel like I'm messing things up more than I thought I would. I mean, I didn't even unlock my magic on my own.
Oh, the belt?
Yeah.
That's just that I just assumed that was part of it. I mean, I just get it from being really funny sometimes. I didn't expect you to be really funny sometimes, or at all. Maybe the belt was incidental.
No, I think the belt did it. And I feel like I gave up part of me and just went underneath something, like a shadow of something else that I don't know or understand. At least Dad, we knew, was like a horny idiot.
Yeah.
Tribute laughs in the existence.
Yeah. Well, I mean, That's a big shadow to get out from under a horny idiot. You know, Cass, you've been doing good. You're, like you said, you're still alive. You've met some good people, and I mean, I assume you saved some people last night? You didn't just go out and kill someone?
No, we saved people, and I mean, the person we were with didn't die for once either, so that's a win.
Well, there you go. I mean, mistakes get made, and yeah, maybe some sort of weird accessory gave you magic, but maybe it's not how you got something, it's what you do with it.
Yeah.
You know, if you took it and went out and started killing people, then like, yeah, you reasonably flubbed it up, but
It's just, it might be associated with something not that great, but like I said, I don't really know.
well, whatever it is, I'm sure when the time comes, you'll do what's right.
I hope you're right.
I know. We're twins, and you got the good part. I just got the very good-looking part.
You also got, like, all the talent. All I can do is
Yeah.
hit things,
Well, that's a talent in some circles.
I guess.
You know, it's getting you farther than me singing would. Alive, at least. But hey, let's have a few drinks, eat some cakes, and enjoy some time.
Yeah.
And you can spend your afternoon with him.
Oh, yeah.
And let's see, that was everybody. The afternoon will pass, and the evening will come. Evening plans?
Breeze is gonna ask Talos, do you want to go with me to get my armor upgraded? And get yours upgraded too?
Sure.
And while they're out, she said Talos said something about roadkill earlier, and Breeze has a funny story about roadkill. When Breeze was a child, his parents were just getting into trading, and them coming from a little bit more of a primal area, they eat whatever's available. So when the first time we got to a populated city, we saw plenty of dead animals, and we started just eating them and cooking them up. We didn't realize that they were just roadkill and they were considered trash, but one day, little old me got caught bringing one home and kind of got laughed out of the city for eating roadkill.
Well then. It just goes to show not all cultures understand. I never really grew up in a city either, so I couldn't say I wouldn't do something very similar.
Yeah, that was hard to live down. They remembered us for that for years. They still call me Roadkill Boy.
As long as it gives you sustenance, I see no fault.
What kind of armor would you like to upgrade to? You're proficient with light armor?
Yes.
The best you can upgrade to is studded leather for 45 gold pieces, which will be 12 plus your dex modifier.
45 gold pieces.
You can trade your armor for 5 gold pieces.
Okay, so I'll trade my armor, 31 gold pieces, and
This cool rock I
I
found.
will offer him a vial of Kenshu blood and tell him that this is a very valuable thing. You can only get it from the Kenshu, and it's worth at least 5 gold.
Roll persuasion.
It's going to be 11.
No good. Does not apply poison.
All right, then. Let me see if I have anything else.
How much do you need?
I'm going to offer him... This is I'm going to offer him this. This is a jar that whatever you pour in it will stay fresh. Simple, useful.
He'll take it.
Okay. I'll get the leather-studded armor. My AC will go up to 15.
Talos, is there anything you want to do with your afternoon? With your evening?
And I will pose for Talos. How do you like it?
Wow, looks wonderful. What I really wanted to do was discuss with other people about the stuff I learned today, but I'm not with any of those people, so...
You can discuss with Breeze.
See,
He wouldn't
but you're not
understand,
like
but he'll listen.
you're not a religious guy, you wouldn't get it.
But he'll listen. He'll listen dotingly.
You can kind of let everybody know at the end of the day.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Nikos?
I'm going to attempt to summon a familiar.
Okay. This will take your evening, but you will be able to do so.
Yay!
Adele, evening?
I don't know. I really don't have anything to do.
Okay.
Smooth dragon.
Just relax down in the bathhouse.
Listen to my tale.
Go into another bath that isn't full of blood.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
Cass?
I mean, I just did the communal one because, you know, it was early in the morning. There was no one in there.
Right.
So now I'll go over to the women's one.
Cass?
I guess just continue saying goodbye to Kaz since he's leaving.
Okay. He's going to drink it up real hard if you're interested.
Ooh, then you can ask him again.
You really should.
Good, roll me a Constitution saving throw. Should be really good for you.
15.
You're good. The two of you have a nice night, and as the evening comes to a close, since you're down in that area anyways, he just kind of, you're in front of this building that has a small, less known bar there, but it's a small inn. He says, this is where we've been staying. So, I guess I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
We'll be in Alzarine, we'll be performing.
Okay.
I look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah. Well, hopefully everything with Anna's done by then.
I'm sure you'll either just leave or kill her. It just, you know, honestly, one or the other, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love you, Cassandra.
I love you too, Cassifer.
And he gives you a big hug.
I give him a big hug back.
Aww.
And for now, you split. With that, you head back to the Humble Bumble. Tribute, anything with your evening?
My boy's all grown up.
And you didn't say goodbye.
You didn't say goodbye to me!
I know.
I want to talk to him so bad about it. He won't say anything to me, so I'll just stew about it.
What a brat.
Except Tribute won't, because Tribute has no idea this is happening.
Right. By the way, you got a package. A book was dropped off.
Ooh.
Yes. From a very smutty shop somewhere in town. It was handed to you with a handkerchief between the hand and the holder.
It was that filthy?
It is. In fact, as you receive this book, it is a book of moderate size, and on the cover, it is read as The Pit. It is by the author you requested, and as you thumb through the book, it is essentially the Divine Comedy, I believe it is, Dante's Inferno.
Right, Dante.
But it's not Dante, and in fact, the 9 circles of hell are not these terrifying punishments for those. They are, in fact, 9 circles of fetishes, in which he must traverse all 9 circles of several daunting, character-breaking sexual torment, such as the circle which he is vored continuously, the circle in which he must crawl through numerous feet. And it just goes on and on and on.
Like I said, the important question is it illustrated.
Is it illustrated? Yes, there are small illustrations on pages. The two running motifs are several fetishes, and there's a lot of depictions of him being punished by tieflings and devil women.
Fascinating. I think I've discovered this author's preference.
And it's you.
And you are greeted. That says, the next chapter's been written. And you look up and you see Sigwin.
That's
She goes, which circle would you be in?
We've barely finished the first.
This one I think is actually... I think he wrote this one first.
Interesting. Though I don't think I would read it.
A little daunted.
Do you have plans this evening?
No, actually. I was thinking about coming to see you.
Well, that's serendipitous. I was unable to reach anybody at the Jade Council. It appears they're still on break and they will be through the holiday. And I thought we might sit down and do some reading.
I think that would be lovely.
This is excellent. She just kind of points down the hall towards her room.
Yeah, there will go. Club girl.
You did to me.
You're taken down, and when you eventually reach her room, it is open to just the most obnoxious catfight.
Oh.
Between all of the girls and all of the guys, just this screaming fit. They're throwing clothes, just makeups and perfumes are shattering against the wall. Saywin just kind of walks through all of it, pays him no mind, and opens the door to the queen bedroom.
I'm just gonna follow her lead.
I've seen enough hentai to see where this is going.
See enough anime to see where that one's going.
I just really hope that you're gonna be reading this out loud, and it's not like you guys just both sitting there reading silently, and one of you's faster than the other. And like,
Oh yeah, they're taking turns.
I hate to
playing
tell you
parts.
that's exactly what it is. Is she opens her book and with a brief conversation, she recites what chapters she's been up to, and she's about at chapter 2, which is just the beginning romance. And she just kind of sits across, and she has a small glass of wine, which she doesn't drink from, and she sits and she reads.
This is maybe a weird question, but Saywin feeds off emotions, right?
Right.
So she's always knowing how someone is feeling.
Almost.
Okay.
Like there might be a reason why she's letting them fight it out up there. In fact, I'm not sure that she didn't instigate that fight.
I can respect that.
she took the cookies from the cookie jar.
It seems like you're going somewhere with that.
Well, it's just because Tributes emotions when reading this book are not
Right.
typical book reading emotions.
Right.
But I think that's all for tonight.
Okay. So with that, you wrap up your evening, and the night comes.
When Cass comes back, can Breeze take her aside and talk to her for a second? How did it go?
I told him if he wanted to tell me he could, but it's his business.
Okay. You're sure you don't want to delve further into this? Because I'm going to write it down. And I'll put it in the letter. Because it is his business. But I feel like you should know. And if you want to know, here it is. If you don't, rip it up, throw it away. But it's out of my hands now.
I appreciate you.
It's a delicate issue. I don't want to overstep my bounds.
Yeah.
And yet you have iron boots on right now.
I do.
Stepping all over this issue.
You would too.
Would I?
So with that, you have the letter from Breeze, and you can do it whatever you wanted with it.
Cast into the fire.
Hearth is lit. Meal's being cooked.
I'm gonna throw it in the fire.
Okay.
Can you tell me?
Don't tell Katie.
Katie will spill it. Talos
No,
Talos would spill it.
You and me. Our secret. With that, a nice meal is prepared. Fine wine is supplied. Talos, if you want to download that information, you can tell them now.
Yes. I specifically want to make a point to talk to Tribute, Listel, Adela, and Nikos. I mean, it's not that I don't think everyone should know, but those are specifically
Okay.
the ones I want to.
If you don't mind them being there.
Yeah. No, I don't mind at all. Trying to remember everything.
Happened today.
Yes, I know. My pregnancy brain. That's the problem. Talos remembers. Katie, not so much. So I went to the lighthouse today, and I met a halfling. My god pretty much told me to speak to, and she had information about another god that may be dead. That was closely related to Saloon, my god. And the visions that I got to see were of her being petrified with an axe in her back. But the axe was waterlogged, I guess you would say. And we're not quite sure what could even kill a god, even if weren't dead. But there was also information about this god creating a race of people that seemed like it would be relevant to you. Is there anything I'm missing specifically?
The god's name.
Yes, Eldith? Was that?
Indeed.
Yes.
And at the mention of Eldith, Nikos perks up and says, Eldith?
Yes.
This is the goddess of unicorns.
Is it?
Yes. Does Eldith was the patron of my patron before she died.
Oh, so she did die.
We saw a monument to her in the Shadowfell.
Do you have any idea what killed her?
I know, but
There was an extra back in the statue, wasn't there?
there
When we were in the
was.
Shadowfell?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the vision I saw.
Said the axe was waterlogged?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the wood handle was almost like driftwood soaked.
I remember there was water coming out of the statue.
Okay.
You don't think that was Umberly, do you?
I don't know.
Because if anything could kill a god, it would be another god.
That's what I suspected, but I wasn't quite sure if at all she was even dead, because in my vision she was petrified.
So maybe there's a way to bring her back?
Maybe that statue is the petrified version of her.
So we have to go into this. I don't know. I have been thrust into something that is way over my head.
Having not been part of a clergy or anything else, I was pretty much unaware of all of this. I never knew anything about Saloon besides her, what she does, what her followers do. Other than that, I never heard of Eldith, even though supposedly her and Saloon were close. And that they were also enemies of the Trinity of Storms, which Umberly is a part of.
Then it might be Umberly.
Adela, you were there for this. Any comments?
I've been commenting.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, supposedly Eldith also created a race of people.
Hey, we saw the paintings on the wall at one place.
What did the people look like?
I don't have any information about them. Try as I might, but I was starting to believe that it might be something to do with you, Adela.
I mean, we have learned that there was previously a race of Adelos.
Mm-hmm.
It's not entirely...
Everything's starting to coexist almost. And I'm wondering what it all means.
You had this vision yesterday?
Yes. Yes, while you guys were out fighting.
Why now?
Saving the Jade Knight.
Why now? The only thing coming up is the change of the season.
It could very well have something to do with it. I got a very ominous sense about the festival.
That a bad storm was coming in.
That a bad storm was coming.
Yes. I mean, I had a vision in the bathhouse.
I'm wondering if that has something to do with the Trinity of Storms.
Or if it has anything to do with the witches of the coven that we kind of fought.
2 days.
Tribute, this is the first time that Tribute looks like she's engaged with anything that you've said.
I'm not normally one for visions, but was it 2 days ago?
That would be tomorrow.
I heard a voice that told me, I don't remember how many days it was when I got the
2 days
Was
at
it
the
2
time.
days?
Mhm.
It told me, it just said 2 days. And that was yesterday.
So we both received omens.
And I had the bathhouse. There was a voice in the bathhouse that told me the same thing.
You guys would have never gone to the Shadowfell without the Raven, right?
Yeah, the raven with your voice, yes.
The Raven that I thanked years ago for getting me out of the Shadowfell.
What?
went to the
Did the what?
I don't know how I ended up there. I don't know how I got out. But this is all connecting, and the Raven led them to the Shadowfell, where the statue of the dead goddess that you're talking about is. And both of you got the same message.
Out again.
Wait. The Raven that took me to the Shadowfell too? Persuasion.
Okay. That'd be a deception. That'd be a deception. Everyone can roll an insight if they want it.
Yay!
Listen, Tribute's just taking things as they come right now.
I got a 4. I got a 3.
People are throwing out god names she doesn't know anything about. Like, apparently everyone in the party's been to the Shadowfell
Never
but
mind
her.
What are we inciting?
Insight. All right,
Okay.
Breeze, what do you got?
That's a 10.
All right.
I got 16.
16.
And Nikos just looks at you wide-eyed and is just like, "You never told me."
He was never there.
What? What?
Don't joke about going there!
Hey, I've never been.
They say if you joke about going there, you'll be stuck there.
Oh, and you know what? Never mind.
And you don't want that despair to take over. It's,
No.
It's not a great feeling.
And Nikos is looking down at his arm again.
I'm sorry, guys. This conversation was getting heavy, and I wanted to lighten it.
That didn't help, but thank you.
No. Shadowfell does not show.
More or less, we have to figure out what this means.
I don't know if there's anything we can do except wait for tomorrow and be ready for something.
Yeah, how do we prepare for a storm? We don't even know what it is.
I guess we can get umbrellas.
I think we need more than umbrellas.
Rain jackets?
I think Umberly may definitely have something to do with it, considering she's considered a founder of this city. And she's one of the Trinity of Storms. Another being a god named Talos. Very unfortunate coincidence.
Well,
I think we may need to see if we can track down someone else to reinforcements of some sort. See if we can find the Guardians again or Thundra or something and get someone else on our side.
Isn't Saywin here? Aren't you quite good friends? Think maybe you could ask her to help us out? Or at least help you out?
Maybe we can find the Guardians or Thundra.
But she might even know something.
The Guardians are so far away, I don't think they'd make it.
Do you want to take the moment to go talk to Saywin?
At the very least, you should warn her that something bad's coming.
I suppose asking her can't hurt. I tried to talk to her about the solstice before. When I got that omen, I had this feeling that I needed to go talk to her. But she didn't mention anything that was relevant.
Maybe you should mention something to her.
Yeah, nothing good can be coming if most of us got omens about tomorrow.
I never quite knew exactly what she was, but I always got the feeling that she's very dangerous. And it'd be nice to have that on our side.
no, I just... This is a whole lot. I've been knocked out of my family, and I was just so excited for tomorrow. I love changes of seasons. I love to see what new season is coming, because you never really know exactly. Why are you looking at me like that?
They tend to go in order for us.
You see his arm is gray.
And I'm just looking at all of them, and I'm just looking at all of them. That's the most boring thing ever. You always know which season is coming next?
Yes.
This whole place is boring and it sucks.
Yes, it's very unfortunate.
Take us to your home when you go back.
Oh,
Roll history check.
I kind of would like to see seasons be unpredictable.
Plus 217.
Oh, it's so cruel.
No? Okay.
You're
Cool
like
or cruel?
cool.
Okay.
Like you're in the middle of summer and all of a sudden snow starts falling everywhere and the tree leaves just drop down.
I
all of a
don't know.
sudden.
That sounds kind of bad. What about all the crops?
I heard it's known as Cleveland weather.
That's a Cleveland.
They say that's what they call it when the weather is so unpredictable.
It sounds miserable.
It is actually far distance from home.
It sounds like a factory of sadness.
It is. Their teams always lose. With that, do you want to talk to Saywin at all?
You can't just talk to her about smut when there's important things.
Oh, yes, I can.
That is the only thing she has that is not about this.
I need to. Okay, Norbert and I are gonna go into my room and we're gonna try and figure something.
Norbert?
Did you not see this guy sitting on my shoulder this whole time? I summoned a familiar today.
Let him know.
Yeah, and so there's like this little pseudo dragon sitting on my shoulder.
His name's Norbert?
His name is Norbert.
That's fantastic.
Everyone's got pets.
I don't have pets.
Don't you dare consider me Talos' pet.
You
Talos is mine.
I didn't go there, you did.
Oh, please, you're Saywin's pet.
You're telling me if she pet you, you wouldn't let her?
I'm leaving. We're gonna go talk to Saywin.
As she leaves, Breeze pets Talos.
Welcome to Quips and Crits, the podcast, the D&D podcast where we have the discussion of who's a dom and who's a sub for you.
Man.
You got a ship, we'll confirm it. Do you, in fact, want to go talk to Saywin? You do not have to if you don't want to.
No, because I'm afraid she'll think I'm crazy if I start talking about omens and visions. Which is why I didn't say it straight up the first time.
Okay. So you do not go talk to her.
No. I'm gonna go pout in the lobby, though.
I hear some really bad bee puns.
Yeah.
Breeze. You really think Saywin would just blow off omens and stuff? She's like...
Oh, Tribute wouldn't say that out loud to you guys.
No. She just gets up and leaves.
This is out of character. This just ran. Like,
I would like to try to speak with
that's
Saywin.
what Tribute thinks?
Probably not.
Okay.
But Tribute isn't smart.
I don't mind sounding crazy. I don't.
Tribute is, as you're pouting in the... as you're pouting at what is inevitably the truth, Talos goes walking down the hall towards Saywin's room.
Well, I don't know that. He just goes walking down the hall.
Goes walking down the hall.
You know where her room is better than I do.
yeah, but can't you put that 2 + 2 together?
Yeah, I gotta find the room.
My intelligence is 9.
Knock at every door and go, Saywin.
Mine's only 10. I'm not that much smarter than you.
Actually, I'm gonna stop and ask Tribute.
You see me just sulking. I've got like a shitty magazine.
Do you know where Saywin stays?
Yes. Are you going to talk to her?
Yes. I believe it's important.
Follow the noises of the loud cat fighting.
Oh. Alright. Do I
Assuming that
hear
Storm hasn't
anything?
It's
died.
the perfect direction. You find yourself at the very end of the hall, in one of the last doors. You still hear it's an occasion as you're walking down the hall. It's very loud, a lot of profanity. Then it gets quiet, and then you hear the grumbling as you come to the door. It explodes in hollering again.
Okay, I'm gonna knock on the door rather loudly to see if they hear me.
The door swings open, and you see there a woman of a race you can't detect because there's a heavy green mask on her face, and a towel is down all the way to her hair and her ears. And she says, "What?
I wish to speak to Saywin.
Who are you?"
Talos.
Hold on. And she closes the door. She comes back and she says, "I guess she'll see you."
Well, thank you. I'm gonna let myself in.
Place is a mess. You're taken to the master bedroom, and when you walk in, you see that a desk has been moved a fair distance away from the door, and Saywin is sitting behind it, very similar to the first time you'd seen her. Mm-hmm. And she says, "Talos, what can I do for you?"
I was hoping to inquire some knowledge from you.
Well, I have a little bit of time. What are you looking for?
I'm assuming, because you know quite a fair amount, that you know of the Trinity of Storms.
Never heard of it.
No? Alright. My goddess Saloon had another goddess that was very close with her, Eldith.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know anything of Eldith?
Not a thing.
Supposedly, she's dead.
Indeed.
And, not quite sure what could kill a god or even dispose of a god in such a way that everyone would think she was dead.
Something I should assume is much, much bigger than anything you could handle.
Just imagine Saywin's filing her nails like, nah, never heard of her.
Well, my goddess warned me, gave me an omen, that tomorrow a storm would be coming. And my goddess has never taken matters lightly. I'm assuming it's not the typical storm.
That sounds like something you god types should worry about.
Yes, that is quite worrisome. I was wondering if you had any knowledge to put forward for that.
Afraid not.
Well, thank you for your time.
If you want to roll an insight on her.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, at any time.
Yeah. Alright.
She did say indeed, rather knowingly when you mentioned Eldith dead.
That's 21 at base plus 3, so 24.
She has been just withholding information and trying to get you out of her door the whole time.
I believe that.
If we had sent troops, you should have opened right up.
That's what you think.
Or else you wouldn't have at least been just immediately dismissive. She likes you.
I
Just
just,
like, my God.
I worry for my companions. We've barely gotten through this without a storm, literal or figurative, coming. And I'm just trying to do my best to protect everyone.
Well, if they find themselves in the poor graces of those who worship and serve their lords, gods as they would be, then their fate is in their God's hand.
That's fair. So I figure you're probably not of the religious type, correct?
No. No, free will is more of my philosophy.
That's fair. Do you ever consider that you may be revered as a deity?
For those who know well enough, I would be.
Just like how my goddess warns me and guides me, I was hoping that you would be doing the same.
Would you worship me?
Unfortunately, I already have a goddess, but if I were unaligned, maybe.
Then I guess I can offer you no such warnings.
Perhaps it's not me you should be warning. Perhaps there are those who look higher than I do upon you. Look at me. My yoga ball makes an aggressive noise as I look at Sarah.
Well, if your god has warned you, I'm sure the other gods have warned who they need to warn. And they will heed those instructions as they see fit.
Well, I know you're far wiser than probably even I can comprehend, and I know you've probably prepared for whatever's happening tomorrow. But I wish you the best of luck in whatever storm's coming.
And you.
And I'm going to leave.
Okay. Catfight's outside. Are you still pouting in the lobby?
Yeah, but I'm like kind of creeping over whenever I'm reading to see when Talos comes back.
You see Talos leave the room.
Far quicker than I had anticipated. Or perhaps just as quick. I don't think I expected this to be a long conversation. I'm just gonna creepily watch you.
Passing words.
You got anything to say, or you're just gonna stare? Oh, okay. She wasn't much help. I'm just gonna leave.
Vindicated.
Yes.
I told you we should find someone else.
If there's any last orders of business, we will end the night.
Breeze is gonna practice some music before he goes to bed.
Nikos is gonna try to meditate and see if he can at all contact Althea with his mind. He has no idea if this is gonna work at all.
Breeze is gonna go into the J Brief songbook and see if there's a song about unicorns.
Okay. There isn't. That's not particularly their bag here. A lot of songs about adding citrus fruits to large nuts.
I thought you were gonna say he literally had a cookbook until it dawned on me what you were saying. I would have laughed my ass off.
The whitest
Is there a
joke I know.
song that you would? Is there any piece of music you could ask me to play to help you meditate to contract Althea?
No, I think Nikos is gonna just try and drown everything out. Yeah.
Roll a d20.
So sing a song about drowning.
Just flat d20? Just a flat. Natural 1.
I mean, hey, that'd be comforting to me.
Be sure to mark that.
As you try and shut everything out, everything intensifies. Footsteps nearby, the playing, you can actually hear these strings warble. Like, it's not just the note, you also hear the vibration of the string, and you cannot get focused.
Hear the cat fight down the hall.
Yeah. Alright, and okay, so Nikos is just he's gonna be trying very, very hard, and then after he can, he's just gonna be like, screw it, and he's just gonna spend the rest of the night pacing around the room and doing that thing that all new pet owners do, which is talk to his familiar.
Okay. And if that's it for everybody,
I would like to meditate to try to see if I can pray to Saloon for guidance.
okay. You can pray. Roll a flat d20.
Alright. I have a 1 in religion.
There's no flat d20, they're all round.
How many negative inspiration do you have?
2.
Add another.
11.
Okay. Anyone else want to earn themselves a negative inspiration?
No.
At all?
I deserved that.
Excellent. So with that, you all head to bed. Some things weigh heavy on your minds. Meditation and prayer don't seem to yield too much. But the night goes and it passes. When you come to Stern... Yes?
Can I do one thing?
Really important. What is it?
I want to, in the morning. In the morning when the sun comes up. Breeze wants to try to talk to Frisky when the sun comes up.
Okay. All right. The morning comes to roll around and you are awakened by the sound of a heavy knock at the door. Whoever wakes up will find that Listel is out, which is not so uncommon. Just as that he likes to go out and buy groceries and prepare for the meals for the day. So this isn't entirely unheard of.
Is he one of those mall walker old people?
Yeah, he might be. Who would like to answer the door?
Sugar's gonna pretend like she didn't hear the door.
Breeze will answer it.
I won't be far behind.
All right.
It didn't wake Adele up.
So Breeze and
Talos.
Talos, as you go to answer the door, you see that there's a well-dressed gentleman there. You see he seems to be wearing a kind of a uniform, and he looks to you and he says, I believe this is the location I was given. Are you all the group who raided and eventually fell Stormbringer Castle?
Yes.
Excellent. Data Castorina. She is the Jade Council member in charge of religious and natural matters. You have been requested to see her immediately.
And where is she at? At the Jade Council?
Yes, she will be waiting for you at her office there.
Do you have any information as to the purpose of this request?
It is my understanding that you were looking to speak with the Jade Council?
Yes.
And they have been on break, but fine Castorina was nice enough to make time for you.
Okay. Tell her we will be here and we will be to see her as soon as we can.
See if there's any paperwork to give the snotty lady at the front desk.
Your presence is requested immediately. She would like to get this out of the way before the festivities begin.
Will you be escorting us there?
I would be happy to.
Give us 1 second.
Of course.
Close the door and I'll start waking everybody up.
I'm going to
I'm going to put on my armor.
confess that I have a bad feeling about this.
I do too, but...
With how technical and how much paperwork that they tend to give us, I have a bad feeling that they're going to blame us for desecrating a place of Umberley. And that this may not go well. I just want you guys to be prepared for that.
Can we still summon Thundra?
Yes.
If this goes badly, we summon Thundra and get the heck out of there.
Do we really want to make ourselves public enemies with Jade Council?
If they try to put us in jail, then we're already public enemies. If it goes... No, that's what I mean by go bad. If they try to arrest us,
Alright.
we get out of there. By any means.
Yeah, I think we save Thundra for the storm that's coming later.
For all we know, this may be the storm. Umberley's the bitch god for a reason.
But we've been requested. I don't think we can deny the request.
Oh no, I wasn't suggesting we do.
Okay.
Alright, so we
Everybody.
all gather.
Everybody ready? Yep.
Sarah, what's up? What's wrong, Sarah?
Tribute's not awake, but she's here.
Yeah.
She's
I'm gonna
that
tell her to
boring
wake up
person.
for the door.
Is there any... I'm gonna go to like the kitchen. Is there any like tea or caffeine?
It would still be very much in powder form. It would require...
Tribute. He's gonna get a spoonful then. Put it in Tribute's mouth. And give her a glass of water. Drink. It'll wake you up. Trust me. It won't taste good, but it
coffee
will.
the worst way possible.
To be fair, I'm more of a night owl as well, but we all have to do what must
Breeze
be
will do
done.
the same thing because he's pretty groggy too.
Get it? Night owl? Because, got it.
Negative inspiration.
That was a good one.
No. Okay.
And her favorite animal is an owl.
He's a good one. He's a good
No.
joke. Why am I talking like this?
I don't know.
Hand me the boat. We don't need the boat.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
That might be our escape route.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see if we
She
need
carries
the
around her cannon. I'm gonna start carrying around a boat. And then
We could be a pirate crew.
put them together.
Do it, Joel.
That was our plan the whole time.
Did they sink that boat?
So you gather your armor, you gather your wits to the best of your ability. When you open the door, he has taken a few steps back and he's standing against the wall and he says, "Are we ready then?"
I guess so.
I suppose.
Very good. He begins to walk down the hall.
Follow.
All right.
Breeze. I guess Breeze is taking the lead on this one.
I'm right
With towels
behind
in
you.
tow.
Trust me, I'm never far now.
As you make your way down the hall, when you turn the corner into the lobby, you are surprised to see an entire battalion of guards dressed in plate armor. Very large lances. Not pointed, but nearly dressed for war. You find also standing in this lobby a very disgruntled but perfectly dressed Saywin.
Are they addressing Saywin, or are they just there?
Oh, she seems to be waiting patiently.
Okay.
Any information?
I'm
on
gonna let you
this?
take the lead on that. What's
Friend
your
of
lady
Saywin?
friend?
It's too early.
Saywin doesn't spare you guys a glance.
I didn't think she would either. She's on a purpose.
The man walks to the front of the door, and the battalion just kind of folds in to box you in.
Ooh, I don't like this.
Yeah, definitely not good.
Says, This is not an option. Follow me."
We were already following. There was no need for this.
He opens the two large doors that shut the Humble Bumble from the outside. And as they open, a dark fog begins to fill. Slowly it creeps in across the floor, and it begins to just waft up in front of all of you. He disappears into this fog.
We have to follow, correct?
I mean, you can fight these guards.
How many of them are there?
15 plate mail, large lances.
Let's follow.
Yeah.
We'll play this game for now. Everybody be at the ready though. Breeze will have his hand on his sword, but he will not draw it.
As you all shuffle out, 2 by 2, 1 by 1 out these doors, you are immediately consumed by this fog. The footsteps that you find to be one another, and even the footsteps of the heavy mail of the guards following you, become distant.
Breeze will reach out for Talos' hand.
Yep, I'll take it.
You find it. And some of you reach out but don't find anyone.
He will also reach out behind him so you can get anybody else.
Nothing.
He holds Talos' hand tighter.
A feeling of loneliness, a cold chill takes your spine. And Adela, Tribute, and Saywin, you find yourselves in this open court area where there stands a woman, her hair tied back tight, dressed in a very professional manner. She stands with 2 heavily armored guards to each of her sides. This fog deep enough, thick enough that there's seemingly nothing beyond this, that you have stepped into a small demi-realm where you cannot escape nor be reached. You seem now to be locked there. And you can assume that this is Data Castelrina, the religious and dealer of the natural goings-on of the Jade Reef. And you see sitting around her neck a great symbol of Umberly.
Did you mean to say Saywin or did you mean to say Cass?
Saywin.
Okay, just making sure.
Yep.
Because you were looking at Emily.
Yeah.
And I had to make sure.
Nikos. You find yourself wandering the fog alone. No sound. The sound of your breath and your heartbeat seem to be the two loudest things.
But Norbert's with me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the only thing that can cut through this silence is the sound of cloven hooves on cobblestone.
Alright. So,
Talos, Breeze, you find yourself walking. Darkness, you can't see each other, but you can only feel the embrace. And that cold chill becomes a wind, and that wind becomes heavy with the smell of salt air. Breeze, you have no idea where you're at. But when the fog clears, Talos, you recognize a great lighthouse from a vision. It stands in front of you, and on the far end of it, you can see a waterfall pouring from the back end down into the rough waters of the ocean below. You look up and you see heavy storm clouds begin to close in and block the moon. Cass, you're alone. And as you walk through this fog, this darkness, there's a feeling of comfort. A strange feeling of comfort. And you feel underneath your feet cobblestone. And as you walk further, the fog begins to clear, and you're in a courtyard, a familiar courtyard of your home. You see around you the training grounds in which you have cut your teeth. You can see the castle in the distance that has stood this monolithic shadow that cast over you and your family. And at the end, where you would see a stable, you see the shipwrecked. And around you, you see knights and squires in training. They stand in the positions they do of attention of battle, of learning to swing a sword, but instead of skin, they have bones. They're skeletal figures standing, seemingly frozen in place, and twisting around them, coming out of every bit they can. Beautiful flowers growing. And as you walk further to eventually come to the shipwrecked, you open the door to see the familiar scene. Statues of your friends frozen in place, statues of Kaz frozen in place, cowering under a table. And you can see in the back 2 skeletons. One that is obviously an orc, flowers growing out of her, and across what is obviously a human skeleton looking her in the eyes, flowers growing from him. And the kitchen's doors swing open to see Phelan, your mother. Welcome, Cassandra. We have been expecting you.
Expecting me where?
The garden. Back in the center area, standing in front of Dada, her 2 guards. Saywin seems agitated. But Adela and Tribute, you have each other. Dada steps forward and says, I have tolerated much. The loss of a precious monument to our loving God. I have tolerated the vigilante work that you have apparently put in. And I have tolerated the, frankly, rude exchanges between my personal secretary and some Orshug blood knuckles. And these are all forgiven, easily. Even the tabaxi you've dragged into my town, forgiven. But that you, and she points at you, Adela, that you would ever show your face here again is spitting on my God. And my God will not take such offense. And she will rise her champion to cast you down and break you as she has once before. Saywin pipes up. You know if you do this, you will be igniting a war as old as civilization yourself. You will be starting what will be the end of all civilized kind on this world. And if you are going to start this fire, and she holds up her hand and you see the illusion begin to burn away, revealing this solid brass body, then I shall make you kindling. Tribute, Adele?
Roll to blush.
Thoughts?
If Saywin's ready to fight, I'm also going to put my hand on the hilt of my sword.
You find it vibrating. And when you draw it, it's glowing a hot white. And Data pipes up. You see, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid that my champion fights 3-on-1. Because you have been brought here in a fair fight. My champion will fight alongside Umberlee and Umberlee's chosen ally, Tyr. At the front of this war, Tyr will wage. The god himself, the war god, will lead the divine and a second campaign to remove the elemental filth from this world. And in your heart you feel this rage burn when you see Saywin.
Oh no.
And stepping from the shadows, you see this dark, cloaked figure. And a small voice squeaks out, I'm sorry. The Jade Knight, with a great symbol of Umberlee around his chest.
Oh shit.
This is my destiny. I can't stray from it.
Nobody listens to Adela. We should have gone home, taken a long rest.
Saywin turns to you, Tribute. Sees the sword in your hand. She can read your emotions. Confusion, but a dedication. She says, what will you do? Will you remain a slave to your god's will? Or will you cast it off and be free? Or will you let him throw you and these next words echo through your mind? Under the boot of war.
Oh, that's what she said to me last time.
More importantly, it's what he said to you on the beach.
Oh, that's right. Damn it. Making me think of that fucking flesh man.
The Jade Knight steps forward with his short sword and his sling. Saywin looks to you, but she draws no weapons.
She's not gonna make this easy for me.
Breeze and Talos. As darkness starts to overcome this area, this lighthouse looms in the background. A fog begins to creep in on you too, and you can hear laughter. Laughter from seemingly nowhere. Where the moon doesn't shine, I will reign. You're lost, little puppet. Saloon's not here to save you. But I am here. And we will have our fun.
You hear this as well?
This is clearly the voice of Shar.
I have no.
Breeze is gonna pipe up and answer this voice that he's never heard, that is clearly threatening his beloved right now. And Breeze is gonna answer, Saloon and the moon may not be here, but I, the emissary of the sun god, am here. And I will protect Talos with my life.
I'm gonna cast daylight, as he said.
Nikos.
I'll draw myself.
The sound of cloven hooves come closer. A pale light begins to spill and cut through these clouds, and you can see the familiar shape of a unicorn.
I am going to go towards it cautiously.
The voice rings out. I knew I'd find you back again. But now I have you alone. And I will cut the head of Althea from here. And you recognize Arthur, the dark unicorn.
Yeah.
But all things in the Feywild cast a shadow, including you. And you can see forming behind you this black-leaved elven man. As he begins to form from the ground up. He says no words, but he is silent. But you can see his arm is a nice living tan. Back inside the shipwrecked. This may be frightening, confusing, but allow me to start with, I am only taking the form of your mother. Something to soften the blow.
Soften what blow?
Oh, when I chose this failure as the setting of the garden. I knew it would be a bit upsetting to see these two you've lost again. And I thought maybe she could ease you into it.
I guess seeing her does make it a little better, even though I'm still very confused.
Well, allow me to explain. This is the garden you've been growing. This is the garden you grow when you focus, when you use the magic we have made. When you expand those horizons, this is the garden you grow. And it is my belief that from this, your most recent failure should grow your greatest success.
So this will somehow help me actually save people?
Of course. What would you have if not this magic? What could you do without it? Your friends would certainly perish. And she steps forward and she takes your hands. But we will make sure they survive. They will live because of our help.
Okay. I still don't really understand how all this works.
You don't need to understand. I will always guide you to the best answers. My concern is the garden. Our concern is the garden. And I will never let this garden perish. Together we will feed it. And it will grow.
What if the best thing for the garden isn't the best thing for me?
I could never imagine such a scenario. You are what's best for the garden. It's why it chose you.
Okay.
Of all those in the room, including the ascended Mialo, it chose you. Because it knew you were the best for this garden. And that together you could be strong.
It's not gonna, overtake me in any way, is it?
No. The garden is yours to feed and yours to starve.
Okay.
I am merely showing you the labors, the power that you have been able to imbue into your small friend, the power that you have used to survive and fight alongside your friends. They're all options. You need not exercise any of them. But I merely wanted you to see your progress, that you have done very well, and you should be proud.
Thank you, I think.
You should. Do you not feel pride?
I think it'll take me a really long time to feel pride in anything.
Well, the garden is a good start. So back at the lighthouse. You cast your daylight. It shines bright. But the darkness begins to overtake it. This light is not bright enough. It's not strong enough. And the fog begins to creep back in.
Can I call on Yalo to give her power?
You look into the sunlight and you reach out. You cannot hear him. You don't know if he's not able to connect with you or if it just simply never worked. But the darkness is coming, along with sinister laughs, and the lighthouse is all that stands between you and the wrath of a very dark god.
I want to rush with Breeze into the lighthouse.
I was thinking the same thing.
Guided by the sunlight, you come to this heavy door, and as you approach this door, you see now that this lighthouse is so familiar to that of the one in the center of town. So much so that when you go to open the door, you expect to see the old small book right inside.
And I don't?
No, when you open it this time, it's empty. It's dust. The stairs to your right stand with 3 windows, and you are quick to close the door to barricade yourself in. But coming from a shadow under the stair comes this dark, grim figure, a nearly undead being with one arm that is grasping a long sword and the other looks to be a writhing arm of a tentacle. Its mouth seems to be non-existent, the skin grown back over, forever shut.
I'm going to point my sword toward it, and if it moves to attack us, I will strike it.
And burned into its forehead is the symbol of Umberly.
Saying that, I will attack it.
Well, initiative.
I was gonna take us upstairs towards the light.
We need to get rid of this thing, or it'll follow us.
I'm gonna roll initiative too, just so that he's not fighting alone. We've already talked about how squishy you are.
Breeze?
10.
Talos?
13.
Talos, you see Breeze beginning the forward strike that he is preparing. What would you like to do?
I know you wanted to go upstairs. If you want to try to grab Breeze and drag him, he will follow.
I'd like to do that. I think the light is the safest place for us.
As you grab Breeze and you start to head up the stairs, you see the stairs light up, and the sound of rushing water comes, and from each window, torrents of rushing water begin to fill the lighthouse, pouring down the stairs, beginning to fill this lighthouse like a jar of water. And it begins to pour, and it's quick to race to your knees. It's about 120 steps in a circle going all the way up.
Gonna keep going.
So you guys can get 30 to 60 feet.
How much does Talos weigh?
How much does Talos weigh?
What I'm asking is, if I were to try to drag Talos and use my cat's speed, would I be able to go any faster than if we were to just run?
It would be, if you sprint and used your cat speed, it would be halved. It would all be halved. The entire distance 369, you'd get 45 feet of movement out of it.
It's more than just a regular sprint, so I'll do that and then we'll run again.
Okay.
As you begin to make your way up the stairs, the tentacle arm is going to reach out and grab onto Breeze. So it is going to make an attack roll. You got a brand new AC.
I do. That makes a difference.
That's going to be a 21.
No difference.
You take no damage, though you are going to be grappled by it.
Can I make a reaction attack after it grapples me?
On your turn.
Okay.
It is going to start trying to pull you in, and as it does, you see the chest cavity opens.
Yeah, no.
And you can see that there's multiple teeth and a writhing tongue inside. It looks like it means to pull you into its mouth and consume you alive.
You know, we're not fucking with this thing.
So, give me a strength check.
Natural 20.
I was like, you want me to mark it?
Alright. You will be grappled, but you will not
I'll
move.
trade with you.
Can I make an attack?
We're starting to get
Or is
into
it not
the-
my turn yet?
It is going to go down to your turn indeed.
I will make an attack
Thank you.
with my Githyanki sword on the tentacles in an attempt to sever them and, or at least loosen them enough to get away.
Okay.
That's a 7 to hit.
A 7?
Yeah.
No. As you try and slam your sword down onto the arm, it seems to be rubbery in its resistance.
Can I use my movement to attempt to pull out of it?
No, you have to use your action to break free.
Alright. Bonus action. I don't want to use any Bardic Inspirations yet.
Alright. The water is now filled up to your waist. But let's leave that for a minute.
Oh boy. In suspense.
Nikos,
Yeah.
you are face to face with Althir, the Dark Unicorn, and behind you he seems to have resurrected a sort of dark shadow version of you.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be animating slowly and coming back to its form. What would you like to do?
Well, I am assuming that this isn't the kind of encounter with my dark alter self where I can just pull the Scott Pilgrim thing and shoot the shit, and turned out he's a really nice guy, and we had a lot in common.
You can try.
Well, I mean, I can try, but I don't think even Nikos is oblivious. The first thing Nikos is thinking is that he's got to defend himself. So, but no, actually, Nikos would try to talk his way out of it, and he's just gonna straight up look at Althir and be like, I know nothing of Eldeth, but I know even less of you. Why did you turn towards the Raven Queen?
I did not turn towards the Raven Queen. I was simply created in the last moments of Eldeth's life.
Is that and so all you are is the antithesis to everything she held dear?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Well, then I feel no guilty. I don't feel at all guilty about doing this, and I cast Dissonant Whispers on him as a second level spell.
Okay.
He is Dissonant Whispers is Wisdom for half and not being frightened. That's 4d6 psychic. Ooh!
I would use
Ooh. 15 is the DC.
Alright, he's going to fail it.
Nice.
Alright, so he takes 14 psychic damage and immediately must move as far away from me as possible. And he's a freaking four-legged animal, which I can assume can just go like BAM. So I'm assuming
That's
that.
so cool.
Yep.
Now,
That's a bard spell, by the way.
Now he'll take the damage, though. He is immune to fear.
He is immune to fear.
He is immune to fear.
Alright. Well then.
He's going to retaliate.
Alright.
So why don't we roll initiative?
Alright. I got a 22.
The Dark Unicorn is going to first going to charge you. It is going to miss with that attack.
Mm-hmm.
As he lays his horn down to try and gore you, you're quick to step aside, but it getting past you, it's going to try and kick back with its hooves. That's going to be an 18.
That's gonna hit.
It's going to be 8 points of damage. Your turn.
My turn?
Yep.
So both it and the Shadow Me are on the same side now, I assume.
Correct.
Alright, would you say that they're both within a 15-foot cube?
I would.
Alright. So, here comes another Bard spell at 2nd level. Thunderwave. And this is just me letting out basically a death metal screech. And that's 3d8 thunder, con save for half, and if they fail to save, they each get knocked back 10 feet.
Alright, give me a DC.
Alright, so that is 13.
Unicorn is 13, he'll make. And Dark You is 14, he'll make.
Alright. And that I'm not done yet.
Okay.
I'm also going to bonus action face step 30 feet back.
Okay.
That is it.
Alright. As you face step back, you find yourself returned with the dark version of you directly in front of you.
Oh.
And it goes to open its mouth to say something, but all you can hear is the sound of wind blowing through dead leaves. And he will quickly draw a longsword.
Cool.
He's a hexblade, isn't he?
The first one will miss,
Alright.
but he'll try again. And that is going to be a 15.
That'll hit.
Be 7 points of damage.
Mm.
Arthur will begin to make his way forward. Fight all you want. You've already lost. We rule here in the darkness. No one is coming to save you. The fight was over before it began. Back in the field, Adela, you stand 10 feet across from the Jade Knight, wearing the massive symbol of Umberly, his destiny at his fingers. Tribute 10 feet away from the fully brass form of Seywin, declaring that these are actions of war that will end the civilized world. And your god may be at the front of it. She's not drawn a weapon. She's not made a shield. She simply waits for you.
The vibes I'm getting from my now magic glowy sword are definitely telling me that's what Tyr's intentions are, right, though? Is it like I'm getting animosity towards her?
It's up to an interpretation between you and your god. Adela, roll me a deception.
3.
Okay.
Not great. Roll an insight check.
The Jade Knight is going to step forward. And quick as a flash, he's going to load his sling and fire it on you, Adela. He does so in a way that would insist he has spent his life training to kill things like you.
Damn, okay.
Crit fail.
Start collecting the rocks that he slings at you and use them as magic stones and just toss them back at him.
This is a surprise round. I'll give you a chance to react to his crit fail in the surprise round. What would you like to do?
Fuck, I'm trying diplomacy crap.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you say?
You don't have to fight me.
It's my destiny.
I personally have not done anything against you. I'm the one who went to go and try and save you.
I know. And that's
My
why...
race may have done something way in the past. I personally have not.
But this isn't your race. This is you. This was you all of the time. Isn't it?
No.
Aren't you Adela because they are Adela?
I may be un-Adela, but I don't remember anything from back then. I personally have not.
And the woman's voice pipes up. And that cleanse you of the sins? Of the dead that you have laid waste?
I don't remember any of this.
And you don't remember, so you're not guilty.
I never said that, but it's... If I personally have not, that I remember, no.
Then you're a fool. And if you will not fight, then you will die easy. Roll a persuasion.
Not good. That's a 6.
Roll initiative. Seeing this skirmish begin, Seywin turns one of her arms into a blade and kind of turns halfway to look at what the Jade Knight and Adela are doing. She mumbles something under her breath, but her attention is not on you.
This is gonna sound so dumb. Can I insight check my sword?
Roll an insight check.
It's like, it is telling me something, and I don't know what it is.
It's like he's saying something.
Oh, man. It's a 12. I don't think that tells me anything.
Nope. But as you check your sword, you tap in your pocket, you feel there's a scroll.
What?
As you just kind of quickly look in the bag down, you see that it is a familiar infernal contract. But it is your action now.
I don't like who's leaving notes in my pocket now.
The battlefield consists of Adela, the Jade Knight, Saywin, and Data, Kastarina of the Jade Council.
Tribute's gonna speak up. I don't know enough yet to know which side is right. And while I know that Tyr is the god of sacrifice, he's not the god of making hasty choices without making an informed decision. Justice might be blind, but it needs to know the facts first. Or it's not justice, it's just violence. And I'm gonna put my sword away.
Adela, you're at the top of the round.
Alright. Well, since obviously diplomacy is not gonna work, I've got what? Just the Jade Knight right in front of me?
Mm-hmm.
No one else is in front of me?
Nope. Just you and the Jade Knight.
What did I say? No, we're not.
So you move forward to do what?
Oh, I rolled for the Ice Knight, but it's not hit him.
Alright, he'll make a dexterity saving throw to get away from it. 17.
Yeah, so doesn't even take half damage, so there's no point in rolling anything.
Nope. Alright, you throw your ice knife, he quickly closes his coat, it shatters against the coat, and he casts it to the side and the shrapnel just explodes off into the fog. As he comes lunging forward towards you, Saywin is going to step up, and she's going to say, I never thought I would find myself on the same side as your kind.
Yeah, I never thought you'd be helping me either.
But at least we can take the pleasure of sending this animal back to its master. And she is going to step forward and make an attack with her arm sword and release her embodied flame. So, and slams this blade into the Jade Knight, grabs his shoulder and slams the blade into him. He is going to mark me for a crit. He screams a terrible cry. Not the cry of a warrior, but the cry of a person.
Which crit?
20.
Oh.
Crit 20.
I wasn't sure if it was Saywin or the Jade Knight.
Yeah, this Saywin just stabbed the shit out of him. So that is going to be a little bit of damage for him.
Like Battle of the Bays. All the NPCs we liked.
And you can begin to see this radiating heat beginning to burn him up. This is something you're familiar with. And that is going to go to the Jade Knight. He is going to cast Protection from Good and Evil, I believe. Because that keeps elements at bay.
Let's see, I think I have that. Yes, elementals.
Okay. He will cast that at himself, and he is going to move back, take an attack of opportunity from both you and Saywin.
It's just a disadvantage, yeah.
That one might actually hit.
Does Adela count as an elemental?
Yes.
22.
That'll hit.
Okay. For 3 damage.
Data calls out to you. She says, Is this the justice your god spoke of? To watch my son be torn to shreds by monsters? Is this justice to you? Is this what he wants?
It's not Tyr's justice. It's your justice. This is what you called for.
Back in the lighthouse. The water in the room is beginning to fill quickly. It's up to your waist now. Talos, it's the top of the round. It's your turn.
I would like to cast Sanctuary on Breeze.
Okay.
That wards him against any attack. Any creature that attacks him will have to take a Wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
I would like to attack the tentacle that's on him to try to release him.
Make an attack roll.
Alright. I didn't add proficiency, but I don't think it matters. Oh, hey. That's not bad. 10?
10?
Yeah.
To hit?
Yes.
No good. Your sword bounces off the tentacle.
Can I... With keeping moving, can I try to, like, pull him with me? Or is that...
You're not going to be able to because you'd be dragging both he and the monster.
I don't give a fuck. I want to get to that light. Alright.
Do you have movement?
Yeah.
You can make your way up and leave Breeze.
I'm not leaving him.
Go.
No.
Go.
No.
I'll escape, and I'll fast enough. I'll catch you.
No. I'm going to stay where I am. And,
There's no point if we both die.
I'm going to just stand my ground.
Okay. The monster is going to move forward. Give me a DC against Sanctuary.
Oh yeah.
I have a 14.
Okay. 14.
Meets beats. The creature is going to step forward. It is going to draw its long sword, and it is going to plunge it into Breeze. That is going to be a 15 to hit.
Oh, meets beats.
And another 15 to hit.
Oh, it's 2 hits. Ouch.
And that is going to be 11 points of damage.
Ouch.
And the chest is going to open and prepare to consume. That is going to go to your turn.
Ominous phrase.
Do I attack or do I try to pull out? I'm gonna attack.
Okay.
19.
Hit.
And I'm gonna be attacking with my sword. Max damage.
What is
13.
Anything else?
I will, after attacking, I'll attempt to pull out.
That'd be an action.
Oh, I don't have that. Let's see. That'll be my turn.
The water's begun to fill now. It's coming up to your necks. And soon it is going to be above your heads and meet the first window. That'll go to the top of the round of Talos.
I'm going to try to release him from the grasps. He's still trapped, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Give me an opposing athletics.
Athletics, you said?
Yep.
Okay. I have proficiency. Okay.
I have a soft 20.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get it. That's 9.
Breeze is stuck.
Go. Use your movement. Get out of here.
Spiritual weapon.
Place it behind him.
Huh?
You place it behind him?
Yeah. I was gonna attack the tentacle. Try to release him that way.
Alright, go ahead and make the attack.
Okay. This. Yeah. 14.
Miss.
You have movement.
Go. If you get to the light, you might be able to stop this monster somehow. If you don't, and we both die here, this was useless. I promise I'll join you.
I don't like the promises that you can't keep.
Go. I don't want you to die here.
All you have left is movement.
I'm gonna roll persuasion. Go.
I feel like I'm in the wrong seat.
That's a 15. That's 15 on persuasion.
I'm really trying to...
Roll an honor check.
Who, me or him?
Him.
What's honor again?
Wisdom plus charisma.
Okay. Natural 20.
Damn.
I'm not going to force you to do anything, but when you look in Breeze's eyes, he is certain, with an unflinching ferocity, he is certain when he tells you to go. And you do whatever you want with that. You don't have to go.
My spiritual weapon's still
Yep.
here. Alright. I'll go.
Okay. Give me an athletics check, Breeze.
19.
You are able to resist as it begins to pull you into its maw. Failing to do that, it is going to attack you with its sword. Natural fail. You have a reaction.
Can I use my reaction to try to pull out?
No.
I will attack that. It's not a fail.
He'll use its reaction to attack you back, and it'll miss.
Jesus. Alright.
And you are fully submerged. Talos, you're up past the window now, and you can look down and see that the water is becoming murky, and you can't see them anymore. It's the top of the round. It's your turn.
I'm first gonna use spiritual weapon to attack the tentacle.
Make the attack.
Alright. Better fucking work this time. You're gonna go to dice now.
I can buy one of those dice jails I see on Etsy.
Alright, that's fucking better. 22.
Roll damage.
Okay.
It's going to make a Constitution saving throw. Try to keep its grip. If it can outroll your damage, it will keep its grip.
I don't remember how much damage it does.
A D8 per level.
Yes. Okay. Don't you fucking dare. 5.
You'll hold.
Alright. And then...
Do you want to dash up the stairs?
I'll keep moving. Guiding bolt.
You can't see it.
Do I have to? It doesn't specify.
I'd say yes. To know what you're
So you
attacking.
have to roll ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna use my new spell. Hold person. Can I do that?
Does that one say you have to see or not?
Yeah, it does. Fuck.
Most spells do.
I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. I'm gonna bless Breeze.
Okay.
You can add a D4 to any saving throw or attack.
You're halfway up the stairs with your movement. Cass.
Yes.
In the garden with this facsimile of your mother. She looks to you, and this time she's been kind of walking around. She's been pulling flowers and decorating them, putting them in arrangements. And what would you have been doing in this time?
Probably just trying to collect my thoughts, look around a bit. Try to like get through like the sea of confusion to form like actual questions.
And what questions would those be?
You obviously took the form of my mother to soften the blow.
Yes.
What is your true form?
This is my true form. The garden. I am the garden. We are one.
What does the red beast have to do with the garden?
Oh, the red beast. The red bull.
Yeah.
The red bull is the seed which allows the garden to grow. It is from the red bull. It is a power in which it lends. And you feed the garden, it's yours.
But if that's the case, isn't deceived evil?
No. No, of course not. The red bull is not evil. Why would you think so?
Can you do an insight check?
Sure, give it a roll.
It's not my greatest. 6.
You're not sure why you think the red bull is evil. You were told it's evil.
A friend just mentioned it.
Oh. Well, perhaps it's a matter of perspective.
I'm not gonna have to, like, hunt anything, will I?
And her face sours. You see, yes. But it'll be a great, great favor for the garden. It will grow in such ways. The growth now is merely natural. But if you were to collect these creatures, it would grow quicker, more exponential, bigger, more powerful than you might imagine. Right now, your friends are in grave danger. A terrible power has divided them and seeks to kill them one by one. And with this power, you can save them. But you need to feed this power, and I will help you.
I don't know if it's worth it then.
To have no power at all?
No.
To let your friends die?
No, of course not.
Then there's...
If you need to shed blood to let something grow, it's probably not worth growing.
That's untrue. For every great battlefield that was once soaked in blood, that blood grows fresh green grass. Every forest that burns to the ground turns to ash and refertilizes the soil. Nothing grows without death. The very meat you eat, death. But you have grown strong from it.
Yes, but I'm not willing to do that cost. It just doesn't seem right.
Then the garden starves.
And it's my choice if the garden starves or not, right?
Indeed it is.
But my friends are in danger now.
And what makes you think you can help them without me?
I honestly don't think I can.
Then what will you do?
I'd rather go and die fighting as me than giving my life to something else.
And she points to the door. Then go. And know that you have lost your garden and the benefits that came with it.
It's tough to leave because it really is a beautiful garden, and I'm not known for making good decisions, but this just tells me I should. Something just tells me. I walk out.
As you walk out, the dark fog envelops you once again, and as you take those steps forward, Nikos, you hear footsteps. And behind this dark version of you, Cass stands. The weight around your waist is gone, and you suffered no ill effects. Roll initiative.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of
You have
Cass.
been joined by Cass, standing behind the smaller figure of you. At the end of this round, Cass, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Why are there two of you?
The other one's evil, and so is the unicorn.
Ironic, okay!
What do you do?
The evil him is like standing right in front of him, right?
Yep.
I'm gonna attack the evil him.
Roll to hit. It's actually behind him. As he turned around to speak, you have flanking.
Okay.
Team advantage.
prove how easy it would be for you to kill Nikos.
Well, that's not the way we like to look at it.
That's a nat 20.
Nice.
All things come around.
Double damage. Shield up, shield down.
Shield down. 9 plus 12 damage.
Oof.
No, 13.
Stepping behind this dark form of Nico, you hear that it's evil, and you just raise your sword two-handed, and you slam it down into his shoulder. It buries deep, but no blood comes. But a silent scream releases from its mouth. Back to the top of the round, Arthur is going to say, "No!" And he is going to try and first gore you with its horn.
You being me.
Being you, Nikos.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta remember, you now have 2 of them in your room.
15.
That'll hit.
All right. There's going to be 8 points of damage.
All right.
And it is going to move around you, and it's going to try and kick you, Cass. That is going to be a 14.
Miss.
That is going to end its turn. That is going to go down to Nikos.
All right. So, Cass is here. I have no idea where she came from, but right now I do not care. Bonus action. I'm going to use 2d6 of healing light on myself.
Okay.
All right, and I'm going to regain 7 HP, which puts me at 10.
Ooh.
And then standard action. This guy's directly in front of me.
In fact, they're actually standing side by side, Dark Nikos and the Unicorn, both turning to face Cass. So you have them sandwiched.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Unfortunately, if I hit them with Thunder Wave, I'll also hit Kaz. So... Wait.
He hasn't taken any damage yet.
Kaz hasn't taken any damage. That doesn't mean that I necessarily want
She should.
No, but...
I went from 41 to 0 earlier today.
Yes.
Scary stuff.
So I am going to... Okay, so putting it together. Me, Kaz, these two.
Right.
Yes. 2 are between you. Yeah.
If I put a flaming spear on the side of the unicorn,
Okay.
that would not affect Kaz?
No.
Alright.
Yes. It'll make a check.
Kaz, sorry.
Makes a check, right?
Yeah, dexterity saving throw.
Okay. It's going to be a 13.
That passes, so it takes half of 2d6 damage, and I rolled 2 6s, so it takes 6 fire damage.
All right. That'll be the Unicorn. That'll be the Flaming Spear. That is going to then go down to Dark Nikos, who is going to turn and make an attack on UCAS. That is going to miss. He's going to try and make one more. That will fucking miss again. Mm-hmm. That's a 10 and a 9. That is going to go down to you.
I'm going to attack Dark Nikos again.
Give it a roll.
And it's advantage, right?
Correct.
Okay. Nat 20 again.
Double damage.
This is why you're winning. Cass putting in the work.
Friendship is my power.
Now, can you
15
imagine
damage.
if she
15.
played a rogue with sneak attack?
Oh, God. 15 damage. After seeing this flaming spear appear, this draws away the vision of Dark Nikos as he turns around to see if his patron is doing okay. You quickly bring the sword and lop right through his neck. The dark leaves disperse into nothing, and they fall simply to the ground. Althir cries out for his young, defeated ward. Back on the turf. Right now, the Jade Knight is just moved back into the darkness. he is going to try and make an attack on Adela. That will miss. That's actually a 12.
It's
All right. He was unable to scope out your defenses, so 5 points of damage. What do you like to do?
I'm going to do my ice wild shape thing.
Okay. Bonus action?
Oh, is that a bonus action?
No, you have a bonus
Oh,
action.
okay. I was gonna say, I didn't think that was a bonus action. I make some magic stones.
All right.
I do pretty well with those sometimes.
Sewen is going to laugh. She's going to taunt Data about her champion and how easily he will fall as those people had fallen in the great elemental conflict. And by her hand, they will again. Anything to contribute? Tribute? Excellent. That is going to go back to the top of the round. The Jade Knight will attack. Once again on you. You will finally hit. That is going to be 7 points of damage.
I was saying he hit before.
And again, your turn. You can move up to him if you like. You charge at him.
With my trident.
Make an attack.
Nope. Ugh. Yeah, 5.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah.
Sewen is going to step forward. She's going to make her attack. That will hit. He's going to slam the blade into him. And he is dying very quickly. He's going to drop to his knees in tears. He is going to try and crawl away from you.
Is that the most accurate actually beating?
Yep.
Hey, nat 20.
Jesus.
Make sure you push
Back
it
in the
over.
lighthouse. You have about 60 feet before you reach the top.
Okay. How far am I away from my spiritual weapon right now?
60 feet.
Okay. I can't go any further than without moving it.
Okay.
I'm going to make another attack with
Okay.
my spiritual weapon. Because she still has grip on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I swear to God, you're gonna go to the dice graveyard. You better fucking keep this shit up. Alright, that's not terrible. That's 17.
Roll damage.
Alright. Let's see. My rituals have done well for me so far, so I'm gonna keep that up. Alright. 8.
Okay.
Does she need to make a con check to keep holding?
Passes. 13. The water's beginning to fill to where you're at now.
Mm-hmm. I can move my spiritual weapon 20 feet. Is there any way I can hold that movement for like him holding on to it, try to pull him out?
No.
I'm not moving.
Breeze, this thing makes 2 attacks on you. It plunges its sword at you twice. You're able to nimbly dodge one, but but he catches you with the second. When he slams it into your body, you feel your strength drawn away from you.
Oh, it's a he. I didn't know.
You take 3 points of damage, and you see this thing begin to regenerate. It's your turn. Give me a Constitution saving throw, by the way. Taking damage underwater.
Natural 20.
You're good.
Nailed him.
You can try and use an action to pull away.
And you can add D4.
Guidance, D4.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
Plus, not
Yes.
I'll
guidance.
use an action.
Your guidance, I would have to
D4.
touch him.
15.
17.
That's not it. That's the athletics.
Mhm.
That's not it.
You remain stuck.
Do you have an inspiration at all?
If I had my spiritual weapon, try to like pull him out.
Doesn't work that way.
No, that's what you need mage again or something for.
Talos, it's your turn.
I'm gonna make another attack.
Wait,
If I had a visual on this thing, I would lay waste, but I don't. Are you fucking kidding me? That's not even worth counting. That's 7.
Miss. Go to the monster. It's going to be a 14 to hit.
Miss.
Over 20. For 7 points of damage. Dallas? The water's beginning to feel closer to you now.
If I go into the water, can I see the monster?
You'd have to swim down.
Doing it.
Okay?
I can see the monster?
You're going to have to sink all the way to the bottom.
Alright.
You sink. We'll call that your movement.
Okay.
You can see Breeze surrounded in a dark cloud of his blood.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't look like he's doing great.
Yeah. Spiritual weapon again?
Okay.
Alright, that is 23 plus 3, 26.
Deal damage?
Alright. Jesus. 7.
What's your action?
Guiding bolt.
What, do I have to make a check?
No, I believe that's an attack also.
Make the attack.
Let me see. Yeah, it's an attack. Alright, that is 19 plus 3.
Roll damage.
Alright. Emily, you know I never asked this. Can I have some of your cursed ass dice?
Which ones?
3d6. Because I have a d6. Oh, that works better for me.
It's his life anyways.
Yep. Alright. Set this shit up here because I haven't got a balance. Alright, so that is 13 radiant damage.
Alright.
And if he makes if we make an attack, next attack against him has advantage, pretty much.
Alright. It begins to burn and sizzle, but it still hangs on just by whatever thread is tethering it here. It is going to make...
Still held on to him?
Oh, let's take a check. It drops you.
Okay.
Swim.
So it is going to swim towards you, Talos.
Oh! My spiritual weapon has movement.
Okay.
I'm gonna I gotta wait till you grab onto it or something. I want to try to get you out of there faster.
That is going to be that was a 18 against Tracy.
I don't have my shield up, so that'll hit.
Okay, and 15.
15 won't hit.
Alright. You're going to take 4 points of damage.
Alright.
That is going to go to you, Breeze.
I'm going to grab onto our spiritual weapon, and I will cast Shatter.
Okay.
In an area where the 10-foot radius will hit the monster, but not us.
Alright.
Just behind it.
It's going to make its check.
Yeah. It's a Constitution.
It fails.
It fails, so it's going to take 3d8.
Now, just so you know, you're going to let all of your air out if you do this.
Is it snap of the fingers?
What is it? Is it verbal?
Yeah, that's how.
Okay.
That's how he's been
Alright, yeah,
casting
that's fine. Alright. But is it verbal, somatic, or material? Is V in there at all?
VSM.
You'll let all of your air out.
That's fine. You can kill it.
As this thing swims forward and slams its blade into Talos, you just swim up to the light of this glowing moon scepter, and you just point your fingers at it, and you open your mouth, and all of your air releases, and your lungs begin to fill with water, and you snap your finger, and from your finger, all of the water displaces, just voids this area, and this massive crack fills the room, and this creature's armor begins to shake as it eventually just crushes in and explodes apart. And the water crashes back down, and you take 3 points of damage.
I'm still up.
Are we still underwater, or does
Yep.
it all go? Okay.
It's almost filled, probably to the door. So, every round you're going to take damage from drowning.
On my turn, I'm going to move my spiritual weapon 20 feet up,
Okay?
and I'm going to use my movement to try to get up.
Alright. So you can swim 60... You can swim 30 feet?
Yeah.
Even with a dash. It's still 30 feet.
Is it?
Yes, because it's half movement because you're swimming.
Okay.
And it's your turn. Do you want to just swim up?
I'm gonna use my feline speed to swim. It's
Okay.
60 feet.
All right. That's going to
Get
get
me
you
to the-
60.
Will I get me to the top?
Nope. 2 points of damage. That's going to put you 10 feet from the surface.
Oh, I'm 10 feet away and I just went down.
And he drowns. Very quickly, he begins to drown.
Alright, on my turn, I'm going to try to catch him.
He's 60 feet, you're 30.
Okay. So even with my dash,
You would arrive there. It's the best you can do.
Okay.
You can try to give me some, like a little bit of your oxygen. We're 10 feet from the top.
That's an action.
I'll do it.
You don't have it.
Ugh.
You don't have it.
You're drowning, mark a death, and to make a
Hold
death
on.
saving throw.
Hold on. Okay, that's bonus action. Bonus. Okay, I can't do anything right now, but I got you. I'm not gonna let you die.
Okay, that's one success, one death. Talos, you arrive at him now, and you see that he is drowning.
Yes. I'm going to try to carry him to the door.
Okay.
Carry him the rest of the way.
You swim up to the top, and as you do, there's maybe 2 or 3 feet left. The solid door that leads to the top of this lighthouse is closed.
I'm gonna get him above the surface and try to open the door.
The door is heavy.
What do I need to do? Can I use my
Especially,
spiritual weapon to move?
no,
No.
especially because you're swimming. You cannot do this with one hand.
But there's stairs there, right? I
Yeah.
can rest him on top of stairs and then.
But he'd be underwater. There's no keeping him above water now.
Oh, okay.
So you can open this, but you risk him drowning.
Cure wounds or spare the dying? Which one would work?
He'd immediately start drowning again.
Well, I know I'd like cure wounds if he would. Yeah. I'm gonna cast cure wounds to at least get you conscious.
Okay.
So D8 plus spellcasting mod. Alright, that's 6 plus 3 is 9. And that'll.
That's
be my
fine.
turn.
All right. You're up. You have no air. You're going to take a little bit of damage. 2 points of damage.
Okay.
But the door is above you. You could try and get out.
I will swim to the door and I will brace on it to use my last bit of energy to help to try to push it the next time Talos tries.
Okay. Either both of you roll me in athletics, or one of you roll with advantage.
I have proficiency in it. I'm just not very strong.
Roll advantage.
Here, I'll take a proficiency dice too. That'll help. Yeah. So that is 16. It's my best.
Together, the two of you are able to push the door open, and you find yourself in this glass enclosure, almost an exact replica of the lighthouse from your dreams. Your staff still glows with daylight, and you see in the center a dark orb, black with a fog moving in and out of it, sits where the light should sit in the lighthouse.
Can I use my daylight to light it instead of the
Yes.
whatever's currently there?
You move the orb aside, and as you press down your staff, the lighthouse burns bright with the sun. Breeze, you hear the voice. Breeze? Breeze, are you okay?
I am now.
And the sunlight pushes away all of the clouds, pushes away the fog, pushes away the darkness at its max strength. And as it begins to shoot a beam straight, just as it did from your dream, the clouds part and the seas begin to settle. And instead of waves crashing, they slowly begin to stop down to solid ground. You're looking over the center of the Jade Reef. And as you both look down, you can see Adela approach the Jade Knight. You see that he's crawling away. Blood streaks from behind him. She raises her trident above her, and she slams it down through his back, and he lets out a blood-curdling scream. Off to the side, not too far away from the minstrel shop, Cass and Nikos, you stand beside Althir the Dark Unicorn. His plan foiled. He looks nervous, looks like he's trying to find a way out. He teleports a great distance away. He goes running towards the closest shadows, but the sun bursts wide, and once again you hear the cloven hooves. A bright light casts across the area, and you hear him scream, "No!" as his shadow is wiped away from the material plane. A voice, seemingly from nowhere, comes. "You have done well, child. I was right to choose you. I'm proud of you. Continue doing your work."
Althea?
Yes.
I haven't heard your voice since the day we made our pact. I didn't know everything that you wanted, but I got a better idea now.
You have never once let me down.
Oh.
And nor do I fear you will. Continue forth. You have amassed a great strength, and I know there is only success in your future. And the light fades away, and a few golden hairs drop to the ground.
All right.
And when you lean forward to pick them up, the gray breaks away like ash from your arms.
Yay.
Moisturized.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you have any questions or want to talk about your favorite part of the campaign so far, you can find us on Twitter at QuipsnCrits or at QuipsnCrits on Facebook. And make sure you rate and subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to. But check out our Tumblr or Reddit for character profiles, maps, essays, and just a bunch of other shit from the... Ooh, I swore. And a bunch of other stuff from the cast. Today's music is brought to you by Leon Lischner and friends, and Dennis Murphy's Polka. Links in description.
Long white robe, down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside.